Hey everybody, this is Perch, and I'm recording this video kind of right coming off the heels of George Perez making his announcement about his health. So, my mood's kind of somber and maybe just not in the mood for a lot of silliness. But there's a question here that a viewer has asked, and it kind of feeds into two other pieces that I've gotten. The question being, hey Perch, which side are you on? I know you like to play you're not on any side, but which side are you on? Now, normally I wouldn't answer that question because I think it's a silly one, and I've done enough videos that answer that question. I'm on side me and side friends, side comics, those sides. But I was given, I had two pieces of information shared which tie into this. And so the first one was sent to me by a couple people, actually. I guess this went up, and I don't know when it went up. I've got a screen capture here. Nobody ever sent me the link, and I'll be honest, I didn't chase it. And with the move and everything going on, I have no desire to go chasing this stuff. But it's on the screen. It basically says, in my humble opinion, the only person who is effectively fighting CG at the moment is Comics by Perch. He has adopted the form factor, seeks zero antagonism with CG, and is actually coming in and tearing down CG talking points to the CG audience and its thought leaders. Joe Q had to spend a weekend on Twitter to talk to Zach. And Perch has him watching his every video and promoting it to his viewers. Best part, he is not out to fight CG, just talk about it from his informed point of view. Also on this topic, where people actively call it the bad behaviors without being adversarial to the CG audience. Okay, so that's one statement of somebody kind of assessing this channel. I would be willing to bet if this was from Kiwi Farms, there was a lot of replies and people giving that statement the finger, but who knows? Again, I don't know. And then here's a tweet that has been pushed around. And again, I'll this one I know where it's coming from, and I'll darken out the person because there's no point to it. And it says, Comic Perch, critical blast Wes from Thinking Critical, completely spineless when it comes to critiquing the unprofessional behavior of Comicsgate for years. And these two statements, I think, were posted within a week of each other, maybe the same. And, completely different points of view. So I'm going to take that to say, hey, I'm doing something right. No, in all fairness, like I said, I don't know who posted this Kiwi Farms thing that was first. The second one's posted by a relatively small YouTuber who, I for whatever reason, is pissed off because I made a statement a while back saying, hey, basically this guy was put up a survey saying, should I drag the spouse of a Comicsgate adjacent person? And my comment was no. If you're asking people, should I drag someone? I mean, the end right there. You've answered your own question. No. Should you drag someone? No. Dummy. No. Sorry. It has nothing to do with CG or not CG or anyone. Like, come on. You know the answer to this. Should I go out and drag someone? Should I go out and drag the spouse of someone? I've had people who have, quote, dragged my kids because they didn't like what I was saying. If you find yourself, quote, dragging spouses, kids of anyone you disagree with, you're the baddie. Sorry, it has nothing to do with the topic. You don't need to go drag people. And I know you could get into a lot of like, well, but in this case, the spouse was outspoken about, supporting her husband and everything else. I mean, okay, fine. It can get cluttered. But here's an idea. Don't drag anyone. Just stop. You're not dragging someone is ridiculous behavior. Anyway, that's where that statement. The guy hasn't been able to let it go ever since I said, the most. I don't like it when people like, oh, Perch is milquetoast kind of commentary, but in this case, that fits. Me saying, hey, maybe you shouldn't drag someone is pretty much the most milquetoast pushback on that comment there is. But be that as it may, so people don't like to be told what to do. I get it. I don't like to be told what to do either. But to the topic at hand here, I to the first post, which is more interesting because they're putting some stuff in there. I'll tell you, I don't start any video with the thought in my head, I'm going to tear down CG talking points or anyone's talking points. Very early on, when I started doing stuff in Twitter, I put the CG hashtag on things I was saying, mainly because I was doing the same. I mean, it was pre-YouTube. I was putting out information, and I really started talking more to people was around the topic of overships, which not to bring that up again because there's plenty of videos on that. There was a lot of misinformation about how overships were handled, and being a retailer at that moment with the store open when I was posting, I was like, nope, this you don't pay for overships. Here's the invoice. Here's how much it costs. Here's if you're going to go out there and be upset about something, at least have the facts on your side. That was my point. And in many cases, I did copy in some CG people. Years later, literally years later, people went and dug up a comic writer dug up some of those tweets and was like, look, he's using the hashtag. He's part of that group, and use that as a way to kind of smear, I guess, what I was doing. Didn't apparently read the tweets. One of the more famous ones I did that got everybody pissed off, including Zach, I think, who said I talked too much, or I don't remember at the time, was talking about this. I was saying there's not a quota for hiring women in comics. That's ridiculous. People are hiring their friends or hiring other networks, and maybe that results in something. But there was a talking point a while back saying that Marvel had a female hiring quota. And again, it's when you're using the word quota, it's like there's a company policy that's being done, as opposed to, what arguably is worse, which is somebody in a hiring position is just hiring their friends to do things. I personally think that's worse, because then you're just doing something that isn't even written down. But again, your mileage may vary, as it says. I come out here and do this stuff, and I think it's weird, and I know I give some people whiplash, because one day I think I say things that seem to embolden one side, and the next day I say things that embolden the other side. It's not waffling back and forth. I'm just putting out information. I don't know what fighting CG means. I honestly don't. I get it. I guess I get it if you're going and you're posting things like FCG and you're putting tweets like that, which I think is a waste of time. I don't see what the purpose of that is at all, any more than and frankly, somebody from CG posting something that says F Marvel. Like I don't. What's the point? I mean, I don't get the point of what's going on there. But sure, whatever makes you happy. Maybe it's self-entertainment. But a while back, and this goes back now more than a year, I said at one point, hey, if you are somebody from CG, you want to talk over what your deal is, reach out. I'll interview you. I'll say, let's clarify what the thing is. And I had this interesting experience that I've mentioned before, which I had 3 people reach out to me. And I basically did you reached out first, so I'll talk to you. And I told person number 2 and number 3, hey, I'm talking to this person reached out first, so I'm going to talk. And person number 2 and 3 said, oh, don't talk to him. He's not, he doesn't represent us. And then number 3 started saying the same thing about number 2. And very quickly it became like, I mean, I've got 3 people with 3 different opinions. Then people vanished, and it started to seem like a pointless exercise. I know that there are sites and people out there, and I think things have streamlined a little bit where the group has a more clear charter, maybe, but it's just, it's a group of people making comics. And I don't say that to kind of dismiss the people who are within it who do troll and make themselves into a-holes online. There are definitely some. But I mean, I don't know. It always irritates people when I say this. There's a-holes in all groups. And the best thing to do is distance yourself from those people and focus on the business at hand. The business at hand should be producing comics. If you're producing comics, then I can pick up a comic and say, all right, I'm going to look at what's in this comic, how it was done, how it was produced, how much it costs, the quality of it. I've got some tangible things I can talk through. Trying to wade into a culture war online with a bunch of different factions feels like madness to me. Again, maybe great entertainment for others. For me, it's madness. It's a time suck, and there's just more important things to do. I don't know. I don't think Zach watches every video, but maybe I'm wildly mistaken. Every now and then somebody says, "Hey, Zach's commenting to you about a video of yours," and I don't listen. I listened to even fewer videos in the last month than in months previous because I'm moving and I feel like my life is carved up into little 5-minute blocks constantly. Just this video is like me taking a break for 12 minutes before I get back to other things. So I'm not. I guess my fact is with me, I'm just out to give you my opinion, give you some information. The key part for me is I don't need you or care if you agree with my opinion or not. It's a lot of things are subjective. If I say, for example, to bring it back full circle to kind of what's really on my mind today, I believe George Perez is one of the best artists alive, and certainly after his passing will be one of the best comic artists in history. Again, you have the Mount Rushmore of comic artists. I don't know, you got Jack Kirby out there, you got George Perez up there. That's no brainers for me. I mean, I think that you can start to get into for me maybe John Byrne fits up there and Steve Ditko fits up there. But again, everybody's going to have different opinions of what they love, and even just saying that, that ignores people like Art Adams, people like Mike Mignola, people like Sean Murphy, who I think are incredible artists and deserve kind of their place as well. So that's the when I give you kind of my thoughts, that's it. You're welcome to take it. I'm not trying to fight you or beat anything back. I don't know anything. I don't know what that even means. My dearest hope is that whoever you are, under whatever flag you identify with, under whatever group you're part of, that you, at the end of the day, spend more time making comics than, random bullshit. And if you're doing that and you're making comics, then I'm happy for you. I want to read those comics and I'm excited to support you putting out comics. Everything else becomes a distraction. Everything. I get into arguments from time to time with pros who will say things like, even if these people weren't saying anything online, they have hate in their heart, so they shouldn't be allowed to make comics. I had a creator kind of come at me with that. I'm like, for hundreds of years, thousands of years, people have made all kinds of things. They've grown food, they've cooked, they've made cars, they've built buildings from all different ideologies and all different opinions. The reality is the car that you're sitting in right now, or will, if you're not driving, whatever, your car, it was constructed by people with a wide range of political views. There's some people who worked on your car who are Trump supporters. There are people who worked on your car that are, AOC supporters, Biden supporters. There are people who worked on your car who don't live in this country and have no idea who those people are or want to. There's a group of people that create society, and we can appreciate and try and work with those things, or we can focus on our differences in this vain kind of hope that one day the world will just split into two parts, people on side A and side B, and that's ridiculous. That's not how the real world exists or works. And if you extract yourself from Twitter for any length of time, you'll see that. This idea that there has to be a constant ongoing culture war about everything is ludicrous. It's stupid, and it continues to be stupid, and it will always be stupid. That's not how real world stuff is. And so, as far as I'm concerned with comics, make comics, entertain, delight, inform. On this very, very tragic, horrible news about George Perez. What the hell? Why would we focus on anything but making comics? Thanks for listening.